Hi, it's Natalie from That Christmas Autism Girl. Welcome back to my channel, That Christmas Autism Girl. In this video, we're going to be discussing my favorite and comparing my favorite friendships from TV. Anne and Sprig from Amphibia versus Cory and Shawn from Boy Meets World. Little disclaimer, I will not be discussing I will be briefly discussing Cory and Shawn from Girl Meets World, but they don't have much screen time in that, so I'll briefly talk about it, but I'm gonna be mostly focusing on the Boy Meets World aspect. So Anne and Sprig from Amphibia. Anne is the girl and Sprig is the frog in this picture. Anne and Sprig, so spoiler warning obviously, but Anne and Sprig met in the first episode, Anne or Beast, and they quickly formed a friendship. He called her a hero. And so he stood up for her against a mob, saying she needed help, so she came to live with them. And so he ended up he snuck out of the house with her when she felt like she wanted to get out of the house. He stands up for her a lot. He stood up for her in a lot of times and helped her in many ways, even when she was being kind of selfish. He enjoyed having her a part of his family. And so, yeah, they're steadfast. They have a lot of fun together. They're called Spran. There was this one episode where she came to live with him in his room and it didn't go well. And they thought maybe their friendship was over. And then they realized that this was just a test for them. And they bonded because of the experience. So, yeah. And so throughout the show, you're kind of seeing different moments between them, like when he told her about how she told him she missed her mom and would give anything to see her again, hear her sing again, that her singing was bad. Sprague said he didn't remember his parents at all. Can you miss someone if you don't remember them? And this is what this scene is from right here. And she said, can you miss someone when you never knew them? And he said, you can't. And she gives him a hug. It's this beautiful, tender moment. And as we revealed, she got to this world of Amphibia, which is a world of talking frogs and newts and toads, by opening a magic music box, and they had to charge the gems from the music box in order to return. Well, she didn't fully charge her, so she was still connected to it. But she didn't know that she was still connected to it until the bad guy, Andreas, revealed, who we thought was a good guy, who turned out to be a bad guy in true colors. He threw Sprig out the window, and she was so devastated, and it played a series of memories with him to activate her gemstone powers. He turned out to be okay. But yeah, and then later in this series, she teaches him lessons and he teaches her lessons. He considers a birthday spent with her his top 3 birthdays after his birth and the one where he got his hat, which is really, really sweet because he loves Anne so much. He just wants to spend time with her. And in the last episode, she is going to sacrifice her life in order to save Amphibia. And he pleads with her not to sacrifice herself by saying she's his everything and that she changed his life, and she agrees that he changed hers too. And it's this beautiful moment. Really gets to me, and he's devastated when she dies, and then she comes back. But then he's one of the people that changed Anne. She even reveals that before she didn't care about doing the right thing. She just let people walk all over her. She was a pushover. She didn't care about right and wrong until she met Sprig and his family. and she became a part of his family, and she was willing to give up everything for that family. It's really cool. And their goodbye was so gut-wrenching. He says, "I'll never forget you," and she said, "I'll never forget you. Nothing will change how much you mean to me, not time, not distance, not being worlds apart." And she even gave him her phone, which was so special to her. I mean, she risked everything to keep that phone, to charge it. When it ran out of charge, she risked everything to get it charged, and she gave it to him so that he could help him on his future adventures. They built a statue for her, and it revealed he spent a lot of time in his room remembering their adventures together. They're just a beautiful, beautiful friendship. They're absolutely one of my favorite things about amphibia. So Cory and Shawn from Boy Meets World, another favorite. So they're brother-like. So it's revealed they've known each other most of their lives. And Shawn even protected Cory from his half-brother, considering that Cory was his real family. And they're best friends. Shawn is Cory's favorite person in the world, as we revealed in Girl Meets World. Shawn loves Cory more than Topanga, his soon-to-be wife, does. She even says that. Cory keeps Shawn on the right path, and he keeps him from breaking things and doing the wrong thing. Not all the time, but he does his best. Shawn always tried to fix Cory and Topanga's relationship after a breakup. And what's interesting about Cory and Shawn is that they're not like, their friendship's featured a lot, but I like it so much better than Riley and Maya, because all we hear about is Riley and Maya are best friends. They're the best friends anyone could have. And you're like, well, I mean, instead of telling us that, show us. Other than the fact that Maya changed herself to see if Lucas was a good guy for Riley, which is so messed up. And then they kind of scolded Maya for changing, when the whole point is people change people. But whatever. Anyway, but I just love their friendship. I mean, they spent time together, they goofed off in school, they had this fight, but Shawn decided he wanted to be with Cory in college, so he decided to work really hard to get there himself. And so he even considers Cory he says, Topanga says he's afraid to commit, and she says, "I've been with Cory for 15 years. So he considers Cory his main friendship. He's not afraid to commit to Cory, even though he's afraid to commit to a girl. So, and there was that episode, Family Trees, where Cory's family asked to adopt him, and they all agreed that he'd always been a part of their family. And and Cory says, "You actually be my brother," and then Shawn says, "You are my brother already." Such a beautiful moment. So, how are these friendships similar? So, they're steadfast friendships. They're stronger than their romantic relationships, like how Anne and Sprig are stronger than Sprig's relationship with Ivy. Even though he likes Ivy, it's like his friendship with Anne is stronger. And Cory and Shawn, although they had their occasional fights, they never ended their friendship. And so they're stronger than their romantic relationships. They've changed because of each other and went from selfish pushover to being the strong, brave, selfless girl, heroic. And Shawn turned his life around. I mean, he's reckless and smart, but in the end, Cory challenged him to do the right thing. Both friendships have handshakes that they do, or handshakes. And Cory and John's case is more of a dance. But both were tested, and they're both surrogate family / adoptive family. So Shawn is part of Cory's family, and Anne became a part of Sprig's family. Differences. Now, a couple of these are kind of silly. They're humans versus human and frog, boy and girl versus both boys. But the biggest difference is that Cory and Shawn got to, spend most of their lives together. Anna and Sprig only got to spend a short amount of time together, like a year. And then they had to say goodbye forever. And they were best friends. And it was so devastating. But I think that's the biggest difference between them. So, conclusions. These two friendships are very similar in a lot of ways. They're obviously different in some silly ways and some serious ways. But I love both these friendships like so much. They're like my favorite parts about both these shows. So, if you enjoyed this video, please comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Send me an email in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye.